people talk about soulmates, people talk about twin flames. How does that selection happen?
The moment we find the partner, what do we want to do? We want to make the partner as us.
Gurudev, do you believe there should be separation in romantic love, as we see so many increasing cases of divorce these days?
Your partner is a mirror. Now there are two things you can do with the mirror. Or there are two things the mirror can do to you. One, mirror can show you your face. You can see your original face in the mirror and use it as a process to evolve. It's a spiritual relationship. Or sometime you can take the mirror and cut yourself with that. Sharp edges of the glass. Correct? Toxic relationship.
Yes. What are the different ways through which we create the new entanglements?
How many views do we get? We are attached to the result of this karma. Entanglement happens. Because then every question that you will ask and every word that I'll speak will be from the mindset, does it get viral? Does it get viral? Then you're constantly obsessed with the result of this karma, entanglement.
Namaste everyone, a very warm welcome on the show, and I'm your host Rangoli Sharma. Another day and I've brought to you another exclusive episode of my English series Mystic Mind. Before starting this podcast, do let me know from which part of the world are you watching this discussion. And let me tell you, today's discussion will help you understand your soul connections, your soul journey, your soul contract with some souls. You know, these days we are living in the times where we hear a lot of concepts like soulmates, twin flames. How does that soul recognition happen? That you've met the soul before, that they are the one for you. And if they are the one for you, as my guest for today has told me, then why do you keep changing the partners? Why does the soulmate keep changing? Why does the twin flame keep changing? How did you decide to take birth in a particular womb? How did that decision happen? So these are some concepts that we've discussed in today's podcast. Gurudev has told me some signs by which you can recognize your soulmate, your deepest soul connection. So I'm sure you would enjoy this discussion as much as I did. And now I'm sure for such intellectual and philosophical deep conversation, you might have guessed my guest for today. I would like to welcome once again spiritual guru and sadhak, one of your favorite and my favorites as well, Sri Anish Ji, once again on Speaking Tree. Gurudev, a very warm welcome on the show.
Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure.
Gurudev, with you, I think it's always a very deep, intellectual and philosophical conversation, which I really look forward every time. And today, I want to take my viewers on their soul journey. So I want to make sure by the end of this discussion, people have this clarity why they chose the lives they chose, why particular connections came into their life, what is their soul purpose. So Gurudev, I would like to begin with this very fact that, many of us believe that even before taking birth, our souls decide the life already. Who will be my partner? Who will be my parents? This will be the journey of my life. These will be my strengths. These will be my weaknesses. So how does this selection process happens of everything? Because already the soul is in its purest form. So how does it decide?
Well, it's a big question. So let's look at the components of this. When a soul incarnates in a human body and goes through the journey of life, 60, 70, 80 years, in that process, we accumulate lot of conditions and patterns and dukhas and sukhas. These are called impressions. So we accumulate a lot of impressions based on our interactions and relations, right? Look at every word carefully. When I say we accumulate a lot of impressions and patterns based on our connections and relations and experiences. Where is this accumulation happening? Where is this imprint happening. This imprint is just not happening in your memory. This imprint is at the soul level, right? So look at it as a blank sheet of paper that came in, right? Okay, look at it differently now. Huh? Let's say there are 2 sheets of paper that you get.
Okay.
They're like this, yeah? You write something on the above sheet of paper, right? After you've written something with a pen or a pencil, first sheet of paper is gone now. You destroy it. But the impression of that writing is there on the other sheet of paper.
Absolutely.
Let's call that as your soul. And let's call the first sheet of paper as your body.
Okay.
So at the time of death, first sheet of paper in which everything was clearly written is gone. But impressions of that is written on the second sheet of paper. That's your soul. Now the body is gone. The soul goes back. Now the soul comes back. The impressions are there. Based on those impressions, even before taking this incarnation, the new incarnation, it has already decided that I want to take next janma, which is birth, in this surrounding, in this atmosphere, because these are some of the lessons I still need to learn. These are some of the anubhavas, experiences that I still want to go through. Yeah, it's like a pre-contract of the soul. Now, with that understanding, with that decision, the soul chooses the right womb.
The right womb.
The planning is deep, basically. So, on this entire globe, this soul is now choosing the right shana, which is the right time, and the right womb in which it needs to enter and take the new incarnation. Based on what? Based on all the past impressions.
Impressions, yes.
Now, based on the past impressions and unfulfilled desires and lessons learned and the karmic loops that this soul has created, this soul may even choose to take the birth of an animal, not just human incarnation.
Okay.
Let's say there was a deep hunger for food, let's say. Yeah. Maybe this is a possibility. This soul may not even choose human incarnation, could take a Pashu incarnation to fulfill the desire for excessive food.
Okay, makes sense.
Right? And also the baggage of karmas. That's also pushing this soul to go to a lower form of life. So this soul may choose. So there are 2 things happening simultaneously. A, it's choosing. B, it's also being pushed to a certain form of life. Are you following this?
Yes, yes.
So there is a choice and there is a push. Let's change the word. There's a choice and there's a compulsion.
Both happening at the same time.
Both happening at the same time.
Okay.
Choice is being made because of some more lessons need to be learned, some more desires need to be fulfilled, and compulsion because of the deep impressions. Deep impressions become compulsion. Mark this. Deep impressions become compulsion of behavior. Now there are these deep impressions. Because of that, there is a certain compulsion of behavior which this soul cannot fulfill in human incarnation. It has to take the incarnation of a certain Pashu, certain animal.
Okay.
You following this? Because of the pressure of the compulsions.
That the soul is bound to choose this journey.
Right?
Yeah.
So desires, karmic load and impressions. It's a combination of all that. And that is how, and that is when the soul will choose a new womb, human form or non-human form, and will start to manifest itself through that womb in a new form of life to fulfill the unfulfilled desires, to carry on or to pay back the debt of the karmic load, to learn the life lessons, and to fulfill all these impressions, the load of the impressions. All of this collectively makes the soul choose a certain birth place, birth form.
Wonderful.
This is, and birth time also.
Birth time also.
See, you understand astrology, right?
Yes.
Is it just an accident that somebody is born in a certain field of nakshatras?
Not at all. If I speak from the point of view of Jyotish.
Even astrology.
Yes.
Why did I take birth in a certain planetary position? Why did this being took birth in a certain planetary circumstances, and this being took birth in certain other planetary circumstances? Because of the soul journey, because of the impressions of your soul, because of the karma that this soul had to perform in this life, so on and so forth.
Wonderful.
So we are even deciding the scope of our charts. The soul is defining that. It's not an accident. Then you please don't go to an astrologer saying, help me get out of this mess. Give me some upaya. You chose this mess. You wanted to live this mess. You wanted to pay the debt of your baggage of your karmas. Why are you going to an astrologer to say, now give me some upaya?
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? This is how it happens.
Acceptance, Gurudev, I believe life makes so easier.
Yeah.
Once you understand that you chose all this.
Two things, not just acceptance. Understanding, acceptance, and then anubhava, which is experience of this. Once you start to understand and accept this, you will start to experience the truth of this. That's when life becomes easy. That's when life is no more a struggle. That's when life is a sacred contract.
Sacred contract. I
Sacred
love that
contract.
word.
And you must fulfill that and grow beyond it.
Right.
Just don't keep living bound by the contract. Fulfill the conditions of the contract. Transcend the contract as soon as possible, and that's what we call mukti.
Yes, and that's how, sadhaks overpower their chart.
Exactly.
They perform better.
Exactly.
We'll discuss that part also, but I think, Gurudev, you made a very important point, which I would love to clarify for my audience and for me as well. You said that the womb chooses the mother. Now, there's always a doubt about it. Whether the soul of parents choose the child or whether the child chooses the parents.
Part of the soul contract.
Okay.
See, it's not one linear life. Parts of a soul's contract. How does it work? In this life, you have many connections, relationships, and conversations, right? Each one of us is living many relationships at different levels. Outer relation, inner relation, close relation, intimate relations, different levels, right? Biological relations, parents' relation. Next time when you will take a birth, it's just not you. Your parents will also take births. Your siblings will also take birth. Your loved ones will also come back again. Correct? It's the whole kula which comes back together. So, when I said earlier that the soul is choosing a certain womb based on what?
Impressions.
A, that. B, also the entanglements, no?
Yeah.
Relational entanglements.
Attachment.
Which is also part of the impression. So somebody was my mother, my father, my child, etc. in some life. There were relational entanglements. Now this soul chooses to come back again. What those impressions will force this soul to choose the womb where the debt of that child, the child that I had in that janma, the debt of that I should be able to pay in this janma. I should be able to clarify the account in this janma. Yeah. So maybe my son will be my father in the new janma. My wife could be my mother in this new janma. So on and so forth. So the womb is also choosing a certain soul, and the soul is also choosing a certain womb. And there is a map. When this map happens, that's when the womb will conceive. The conception in a human system or any animal system also happen at a very certain time. Two people could could try and mate together for many years, and they will not. The mother, the lady will not get pregnant. But at a certain point, in certain conditions, on a certain time of the day, the lady will get pregnant with the same husband.
Yeah.
Right? Not before that, not after that. Because this is the time when the alignment of that soul that is wanting to come into this womb and this womb that is wanting to attract that soul, there is a perfect timing, there is a perfect match. That's when the conception will happen.
Yes.
It's very precise, very, very precise. And there are no accidents in this. Extremely precise. And then the whole drama of entanglements and fulfilling of the desire starts.
Exactly.
This is how it is.
Gurudev, the whole drama of entanglement that you talked about. Let's just say, in one life, one soul is a child. In the next life, that same soul becomes the parent and the parent becomes the child. Now this journey keeps going on because we have to settle the karma. So when does this end? When does this end? That's the bigger question.
That's the reason in our culture, I think we're the only culture in the world which talked about moksha, mukti or liberation. If you see, all the other spiritual cultures in the world talked about heavens and hell, different realms. But there was nothing beyond that. But in our culture, even beyond the understanding of heaven and hell and different realms, we talked about liberation. Because we understood, we knew, we realized there is a way through which you can eject this system. You can transcend this loop. Because this match will never end. So we created the deep spiritual processes where you completely transcend this map or this entanglement process. So you can never end the karmas. Asambhav, impossible. Nobody can end the karmas. But what did Sri Krishna say in Gita? You can't leave the karma, but you don't be the doer of that.
Yes, become the observer.
Perform the karma, but you are no more the actor in that. You're not the doer. Correct? Moment you enter into that understanding, now all the entanglements, all the relations, everything you will keep on fulfilling as the load of your karma you have to fulfill, but you're not creating any new thing. Problem is we keep creating our own new things, hence the loop never stops. But in this, you say, the doer is no more. I am no more the doer. Everything that I do, I bow down to Shiva and say, it's you. Right now, I'm speaking these words. Do you think Gurudev is speaking these words? What's my inner position right now? Honestly saying, everybody. What is my inner position, realization right now when I'm speaking these words? It's not me, I, who's speaking these words. It's Shiva who's making me speak these words in this moment for the benefit of Jagat Kalyana. Few conditions are being met. Look at it very carefully. A, it's not I who's speaking, so there is no doer. It's Shiva who's allowing this speech to happen, so it's all his. And all this what is happening is only for the Jagat Kalyana, not for me. There's nothing in it for me. All the karmas you perform, you think, what's in it for me? Mujhe kya labh milega isme? What am I getting out of this? In this process, I'm totally out of that game. So I'm playing the game, I'm not in the game. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hence, no new karma accumulation is happening. All the old karmas have been burnt. Right? This is how you eject the system. So we, in our sabhyata, in our system, we created this whole understanding of karma yoga. In the Vedantic tradition, we call it the witnessing consciousness. You're just the watcher of everything that happens through you. You're not the doer anymore. Karma Yoga talks about this in a different light. Tantra talks about this in a different light.
Absolutely.
Right? Kashmir Shaivism talks about it in a different way. But we're all essentially saying the same thing. And this is how you eject out of the system. By still being in the system.
Yeah. Gurudev, I think the concept of detachment, like living life but not being attached to it, it takes a lot of spiritual evolution for a soul to reach to that level. And a lot of understanding. Now, from this question, I want to ask, what are the different ways through which we create the new entanglements unknowingly?
Very simple, no? Very simple. Let's take the practical example. We are doing this, and if our intention or if our focus is only on the, not TRP, what do you call it? TRP is in the TV channels, no? Views.
CTR.
Views or CTR, whatever the term is. How many views do we get? We are attached to the result of this karma. Entanglement happens. Because then every question that you will ask and every word that I'll speak will be from the mindset, does it get viral? Does it get viral? Then you're constantly obsessed with the result of this karma, entanglement. Versus, if in this moment you be true, completely true to yourself, in this moment, whatever words are being uttered through this mind are very conscious, in full communion with Shiva in this particular moment. And there is no thought about views, likes, or all of that. Only then we are performing our karma as karma yoga. We are totally here. We are not bound to the result, fruits of the action. We are performing the karma totally detached. You like it, you don't like it, how does it matter? How does it matter? Meaning, we're not entangled with that. It matters to us because we're doing it for Jagat Kalyana. Yes, there's a bhavana, there's an intention in the heart that more and more of us get awakened. Not more and more of them gets awakened. More and more of us gets awakened. Because it's all us.
One, yes.
And if more of us gets awakened, please understand, I'm saying more of us gets awakened. So if X number of people listening to us right now gets awakened with this, it's our awakening, no?
Absolutely.
It's not there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a very collective thing. Once you are established in that, you are detached from the obsessive thought of the fruit of the action. Just by being here.
Wonderful.
Fully being here. And offering everything to Adi Shiva.
Lovely.
It's all His. He is making us do that. We are just slaves doing it for Him. To make Him happy.
Yeah.
Not to make you happy, or me happy, or them happy, to make us happy. And us, this, that and that. It's all us.
Because we're all one.
Detachment happens.
Yes. And I hope may we all reach to that realization.
We all are entering into that realization. I'm certain about that.
Yes, by such discussions. Gurudev, I think one of the most important connections of our life is the romantic partner that you choose. You get your siblings, you get your parents by your birth. But this is one connection that plays a very profound role in your soul journey.
Right.
People say that you've already chosen this partner. But the irony is, if we've already chosen, we still have to hunt for that partner, right? Like you go on dating apps, you meet n number of people, and then you find, oh, you're the one for me that I had decided already. How does that happen? And you know, in the times that we're living in, there is so much to talk about when it comes to romantic love. People talk about soulmates, people talk about twin flames. How does that selection happen? And by the way, if I speak astrologically, the first house represents you, the seventh house, which is the complete opposite of it, it represents your partner, which means that your partner is your biggest karmic energy that you're bringing into this life. How? Why?
Look at the beauty of this. Even astrologically, first and seventh, which is opposite.
Opposites,
This is how the charts have been made. What does it signify? It signifies, number one, do not expect your partner to be a yes person all the time. You are bringing a mirror in your life.
Mirror, right.
Why are you bringing a mirror? Because of a soul contract. And the soul contract was, unless you see your own beautiful face and ugly face at the same time in a mirror, you can't evolve. Where do you get the mirror? Soul contract, partner comes, which is opposite. Not like you. But look at the trouble. The moment we find the partner, what do we want to do? We want to make the partner as us.
Yes. That you belong to me, you're mine.
Not just that. We want to make the partner a twin image of me. Yeah. You should like the same thing. We should have same taste, etc., etc. I want to recreate my partner as per my liking. That's what we do. All the trouble. That's all the jhagda that we do in relationship. Because I want my partner to behave the way I want the partner to behave, speak the way I want the partner to, so on and so forth. It's impossible. It's against the soul contract. You're bringing the mirror and then saying the mirror behave like a TV. Are you understanding the point? You're bringing the mirror whose job, whose quality is to show you your real face. But you're expecting the mirror to behave like a TV with you having the remote. Play the drama that you want to watch. Play the song that you want to watch. Please understand, it's not a TV. You brought a mirror. And you brought this mirror because of your soul contract. You had the soul contract because you wanted to learn this in this life. So, that partner, the real partner, will not be an easy business.
Absolutely.
It is challenging. It will hurt you because you're stubborn. You're making the same mistakes again, life after life. So it hurts.
You have the same patterns.
You have the same patterns. You're trying to change the partner again and again, but you're not looking, it's not the issue with the partner, it's the issue with your pattern. By changing the partner, nothing will help. By changing the pattern, everything will change. So we're not trying to change the pattern, we're trying to change the partner. Now the dating apps and all of that, look, there's no problem with that. It's just a different world and a different medium that we're using. Earlier we had pundits who will bring, different whatever, kundlis and all that. That era is gone. Before that there were relatives, they'll bring some partner choices. That era is gone. Now we're all very solo. We are very lonely. We have our own choices and whatnot. So what do? It's a lonely world. 8.5 billion people. We're lonely.
How sad.
And because we're lonely, we're looking into this equipment to find my life partner. It's a sad part. It's a poor part. But what do? That's the world we are living in. Whichever is the madhyam, which is medium, the essential thing is not the medium. Be it relatives or Panditji or any website or any app. Does not matter. They're all mediums. But you will end up getting the same mirror.
Unless you fix your patterns.
Unless you fix your pattern. And then you will once you fix the pattern, you will get a partner, but this partner will not press your buttons anymore. Because you've learned the lessons.
On yourself.
You've learned your lessons. So there is no problem. 99% of the cases, there's no problem with the partner.
Then?
It's the problem of your pattern. But you keep blaming the partner for that. The day any person starts to realize the mistake, the problem is the ingrained pattern. And I've got to change that. Unless you change that, that will not get fixed. No matter how many marriages, how many partner changes you do, you'll end up attracting the same kind of people in your life, same kind of energies. I get a lot of sadhaks at the ashram and they say, Gurudev, how does it happen? My first partner was problem. I got out of that relationship. My second partner is a problem. My third partner is a problem. Why I'm attracting the same energy again and again, same suffering again and again, same violence again and again. Simple reason. You're not learning your lesson. And because you're not learning the lesson, you're not changing the pattern. Because you're not changing the pattern, you're not changing your vibration, your inner frequency. If you are operating at a low vibrational frequency, you will only attract low vibrational frequency back. If you increase your vibrational frequency of love, appreciation, compassion, you will attract that vibrational frequency because patterns has shifted now.
Yes.
This is how we evolve and not repeat. The issue is in repetition mode. So you don't have to go in circles, you have to go into a spiral. That is also upward moving spiral. That's what we need to do.
Makes complete sense, Gurudev. And, as you rightly said, the universe understands the language of frequency. Gurudev, there's one theory. It's called the theory of soul recognition, and especially for people like me who believe in the concept of soulmates and soul journey. So, when you meet the one with whom you're going to spend a major chunk of your life, there are some signs that you feel. What are the signs that one would have that you are the one for me? What is this realization about?
You want me to give tips to people to find their partners, right?
Maybe
Marriage
yes.
bureau.
Maybe yes, in a soulful way.
Yeah. This question is very similar to another question that I get a lot, that how do you find the right guru?
Yeah.
It's a very similar question. Because to me, your beloved partner, the signs, the right one, and your beloved guru, signs the right one. It's very similar.
Really?
Very similar. Why very similar? Because these are two intimate relations.
Absolutely.
With your guru, it's a very intimate relation in a different way, in a cosmic way. And with your partner, it's a very intimate relation in a very romantic way. But intimacy is there in both the relations.
Yes.
Signs. What are the signs? This is very stuff of the heart. Yeah.
And the soul.
And the soul. When you meet your soul being, soul mate, soul partner, number one, it straight away impacts your thought process. You're not thinking the same loops again. Your thought pattern has changed. Just by few interactions, your thought patterns have changed. You will start to see, oh, I'm thinking differently these days. So there's an impact in the thought pattern. Big signal, right? There's certain level of joy in your heart because every recognition brings joy.
Wow.
Look at it carefully. Every deep recognition will bring joy. Every deep recognition will bring hope. Every deep recognition will certainly bring a level of trust that logical mind cannot explain. Right? Somehow I trust this being. Somehow there is a pull towards this being.
Absolutely.
Right? Logical mind may be saying against that.
Why?
Why this, why that, this is not right, that is not.
Yeah.
But there is a certain pull. It's a gravitas. It's like the moon pulls the water on the earth.
Oh,
right?
how
It's
poetic.
similar gravitas. Why the similar gravitas? Understand, we're all, okay, let me bring little bit yogic sense into this. We've all got a pineal gland here, which we call third eye. What is that? It's a mechanics of transmission, and it's also an antenna to take signals in. Right? This is how pineal gland, your third eye, works. Correct? It is constantly generating signal and distributing that signal. The moment that signal meets the right soul partner, pineal gland there, third eye there, starts to absorb that signal and start to send similar frequency resonance back. Frequencies matching. You understand? It's a game of the signals through pineal gland, which is third eye. I'm bringing a very different element today.
Yeah.
Right?
Never heard of this.
Never heard of this, right? Because of these signal transmission and signal reception, there is a recognition.
Ji.
Oh, this is a familiar signal. Oh, I know this signal. I know the tonality, the taste, the fragrance of this signal. Ting, connection happens.
I've met you before.
I've met
in
you
some
before.
other life.
Right. But there's a big but here. And the but is, most of the time there's a lot of noise in your head. And this noise, this garbage, does not allow you to pick the right signal.
Okay.
We are obsessive people. Any signal that we get, we think it's a right signal. Oh, soulmate. Right? Obsessive. How do you sharpen the ability to pick the right signal? To transmit the right signal? It's an ability. It's not happening automatically.
Ji.
Because you could be sending out a lot of noise. You could be attracting a lot of noise. So there has to be a mechanism to purify that. I don't want to attract any noise. I only want to attract the right signal. How do you do that? Before you even try to find the soulmate or soul connection, you need to really quieten your mind. I meet a lot of people these days. Their soul mates and soul flames and soul partners also keeps changing every few months.
Absolutely.
Right? Why is it happening? If this was really a soulmate, soul flame, or whatever word that we use, it must not change. Why it's shifting? Because you transmitted noise, you attracted noise, and you just attached a word called soul connection to that. You have to purify the system. Sit in dhyana, quieten the mind. Only then the ability to send out the right signal and receive the right signal will happen. Only then, this joy we talked about now, when you meet the right one, there is a deep joy, trust, hope in your heart. Only then the purified joy, purified trust and purified hope will awaken. Otherwise, every second person you meet, the joy is there. The hope is there. That's a wrong one. That's how we enter into the wrong ones, wrong relations.
Because that's not coming from the right place.
That's not coming from the right place.
Unhealed.
That's unhealed place. That's a noisy place. Fix that first. Become little dharmic. Be little meditative. Don't be obsessive to find the partner. Quite trust the process. If you're talking the language of soulmate, soul flame, soul heart, whatever the language, which means you must trust the divine plan. If there is a soulmate, you are going to get it. Right or wrong?
Absolutely.
You have to trust the process. Then why there is so much of obsession in the system? Why every second person feels like soulmate? Because of obsession. So we are just using the words but not trusting the process. I'll say this again. It is important what I said. We just use the words but don't trust the process.
Yeah.
Problem. If you're using the words like soulmate, soul connection, then you have to trust the process also and not be obsessive about it. And quieten yourself. Be at ease. Trust. The soul person, the soul mate will emerge, will come in front of you. There's no doubt about that. Right? But don't go out hunting. Yeah?
Yes.
And aggressively, obsessively trying to locate. It comes to you.
Yeah.
Correct? Trust the process.
Gurudev, I think you said a very important thing, that this is the biggest part where we lack, especially the spiritual people who consider themselves even spiritual. Even they don't trust the higher power. They don't surrender. They don't understand the language of God. That if somewhere I'm desiring or if somewhere I'm manifesting such kind of connection, the universe will bless me.
Correct. So, I often say, what is the language in which divinity speaks to you?
according to me, like when you meditate and just it speaks in thoughts. When you're in silence and the thought that comes to you.
So, divinity speaks to you in the language of silence.
Okay.
No other language. It's not Hindi, English, Sanskrit, Punjabi, or any other language. Yeah. Divine Shiva only speaks to you. Adi Shakti only speaks to you in the language of silence. If you want to download the signal, any signal, soulmate signal, any signal, what you need to practice is silence. This is deep. This is just, I'm not talking about just meditation. Because only in silence, your third eye gets stronger. Your pineal gland gets activated. And that is your transmission and signaling device in the human system. And unless that's active, you're not attracting the right signal. You're not sending the right signal. Very important. That is the reason in our tradition, since the time we are born, you go to a temple with your nani, your dadi, they'll say sit in silence in the temple, and you say what do I do, and they'll say okay, focus on your third eye. Correct? Why? Why did they say that to us from the very beginning? Just because we understood, unless the third eye becomes strong, purified, activated, signaling will not work properly. Noise will happen a lot. That's the reason. So quieten your system, meditate a little bit, and then the right signal will start to come to you. Even in the matter of romantic love. Very important.
Very important. Gurudev, do you believe there should be separation in romantic love? As we see so many increasing cases of divorce these days. Like in Sanatan Dharma, there's not even a concept of divorce in our Shastras. Do you think there should be separation with that soul that you chose?
Look, as I said, let's look at it from a perspective of the mirror analogy that we used. Your partner is a mirror. Now there are two things you can do with the mirror, or there are two things the mirror can do to you. One, mirror can show you your face. You can see your original face in the mirror. And use it as a process to evolve. It's a spiritual relationship. Or sometime you can take the mirror and cut yourself with that. Sharp edges of the glass. Correct? Toxic relationship.
Yes.
Correct? If you're stuck in a mirror which is cutting you all the time, which is not showing you the face, the intent is not just to show you the face, the intent is to cut you. We call it toxic relationship. What do you do with that? How? You can't live in that because a spiritual relationship will help you evolve. With all the fights, all the feedbacks that you give to each other, the intent is this, we're trying to evolve, we're trying to grow with this. Toxic relationship, I want to break your self-worth. I want to break your self-confidence. I want to show you lower being all the time. Niche. We use the shabd nicha. I want to show you lower all the time. Mirror that is cutting me. If you're stuck in a relationship like that, what do? Exit is the best way then. You have to exit out. Because you probably picked the relationship not on the signal but on the basis of noise and obsession.
Exactly. You attracted that soul yourself, right? On the basis of your patterns.
Exactly. And you're not working on your pattern, and unfortunately you've attracted the wrong person, which has become toxic now in your life. What do? You have to exit that. So I am not in the favor of continuing the relationship if it's not helping you heal, helping you grow, helping you evolve. Then you must exit. What our tradition says, I do not know. But we are sitting in a Kali Yuga. We are sitting in a different time now. We're not sitting 5,000 years ago.
Absolutely.
In this time, if the relation has become such, see, because we're not living in joint families, we don't have support systems, we don't have mechanism where self-healing is just happening because we're living in a community. All the systems are broken. If that's the case, you can't continue in a toxic relation for a long time. It will deplete your energies. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So the pointers here, is the relationship helping me heal? Am I helping the other person heal? It's not give or take. It's, am I helping you to heal? Am I helping genuinely you to grow? Am I helping you to evolve? So it's on the other and it's on the self both. If it's a tick mark, be in the relationship. Otherwise, you've got to exit out.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I think this is one answer that a lot of people, a lot of audience needed to hear, because when you're spiritual, you feel that, somewhere this is a part of my karma. I have to continue this. Maybe somewhere I manifested or attracted this. Maybe this is my soul's plan.
This is not part of your karma. This is part of your ignorance.
Very important.
It's part of your ignorance because you're not wanting to change yourself. And you're thinking, I am perfect. And then any relationship will become toxic. See, definition of a relationship is, if I grow with it, working on myself, relationship will grow. If my only intention is, no, you grow, you change, I am perfect, then every relationship will become toxic. Soulmate or no soulmate. That's the fundamental truth. Right? In this entire life, when you take an incarnation, your only promise to yourself is, I'm here to learn, grow and evolve.
I'm here to learn, grow and evolve.
And finally, eject out of the karmic loop.
Yes.
Moksha.
And merge with him.
And merge with Shiva. That's the only commitment. And a relationship is a bridge for that, is a support system for that. But the issue is, we forgot the commitment, no? When I took the birth, this was the commitment. I'm here to learn, grow, evolve, and finally merge, moksha. Unless you remember these 4 commitments that you made to yourself and to your Ishvara when you took this incarnation, now nothing will work for you. Nothing will work for your highest good. Now every relationship will just be transactional. And in transaction, what is the mode? What can I get from you?
Exactly. What can you give me?
Correct. Now, no relationship can become beautiful with this mentality. A relationship will only become beautiful with the mentality of, what is it that A, I can learn from this, B, I can contribute in this, C, how can I support my partner? That's it. If these 3 things are there, every connection will be a soul connection. There is no special soul connection then, right? Even this camera, the Deepak sitting there, it's a soul connection. In some janmas, we must be together.
Yes.
Maybe in some janmas, I was shooting him. Correct?
Yes. Makes sense.
Nothing is by chance, no? And nothing is temporary. If this relation is happening, if these sadhaks are watching us right now, if these sadhaks are listening to us right now, there is a soul connection. We've been together in some janmas.
Definitely.
Only because of that you are here today listening to me. Otherwise, there is no possibility. There is no randomness in this world. There is no randomness.
Coincidence.
There is no coincidence here. You grasp this, you let it pass, is up to you. But it is not by chance. There is a divine intervention in everything that is happening right now. The friend that came and gave us this water, I always look at him and thank you. There is a connection, old connection with that person. Only because of that, this guy is serving us. Otherwise, why will he come in this orbit of mine or our collective orbit? Why would this person come?
Definitely.
See, this is a sacred orbit right now. Any being who's part of this orbit, physically or through the digital medium, who's part of this sacred orbit, there is a connection.
Yes.
Correct?
And after we are done with the podcast, I'll ask you about our connection. How did we meet in past life?
Right.
I came as a seeker.
Correct. One thing I must tell you, and I must tell all the sadhaks today. Don't go out looking for your soul connections. Make every connection your soul connection. We're missing the point. Out of 8.5 billion people, why do I want one soul connection? Is your soul so small? Is your soul so weak that it can only have one soul connection? Why can't this whole earth be yours? If you are Amsha of Shiva, which I believe we all are,
Me too.
I am the Ansha of my father is Shiva. I am the Amsha of Adi Shakti is my mother.
Yes.
If we are the Amsha of our father and mother, Shiva and Shakti, then we are not limited beings. Correct? Then we are as enormous, as cosmic as Shiva and Adi Shakti is. It's just that out of our ignorance we forgot that. The shield of Maya and Aham is not allowing us to see that. But our reality is, our nature is cosmic. And if that is so, why can't I have soul connection with every being on this planet? Why can't they all be part of my orbit? Yes, every relationship will have different tonality. That's the reason I think Rishi Patanjali and Buddha used the word beyond the soul connection, a word I love the most called Maitri.
Maitri. Okay.
Why can't you be in Maitri with this entire cosmos, every little being on this planet? Why can't you have deep Maitri, which is deep sacred friendship with all of them? Out of that, somebody will be your wife, somebody will be your husband, somebody will be your father, somebody will be your son. Those are relationships that we've defined. Beautiful. But why can't we have Maitri with all of them? Even these biological connections, even these romantic connections, why can't the base be Maitri?
Yeah.
So they're all soul connections according to me. Change the gestalt, change the way you look at things. Don't find one soul connection here.
The whole earth is
The
your
whole
soulmate.
earth is your friend, your sacred friendship. As I said, out of that, somebody will be your romantic partner. But don't limit yourself just to that. Expand. Realize your Shiva Tattva. And then Shakti will emerge in the form of your romantic relationship also.
Wonderful.
Correct?
Gurudev, to put an end to this beautiful, soulful discussion that we're having today, I'm sure so many seekers would have the same question. Why do some people choose a life of suffering when growth can also happen with positivity, with positive emotions? Why? What is it beyond karma? We say that it's all to settle your karma. You had done it to somebody in your previous life. It's all the settlement of karma. But what is the answer beyond karma?
See, first of all, karma is the biggest answer. There's nothing beyond karma. Why? Because Buddha talked the language of cause and effect. We talked the language of karma yoga. Everything that is happening in your life is the seed that you sow in the past. That's the truth of life. That's a mathematical truth of life. Correct? It's all that. I'm sowing this, I'm cultivating this. I'm getting this. So whatever I do, there's a repercussion of that.
Yeah.
Science says every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It's nothing but the theory of karma. Looking at it from a philosophical perspective now, you will appreciate light a lot when you've lived in some darkness. You will want and deeply want with every breath of your life light if you've really suffered the darkness. Correct? Otherwise, we have the mentality to take everything for granted. Put the button on, there's light. Don't take it for granted. Right? So, the soul has to go through this dark phase we call suffering. Only then, A, we want light deeply. B, we appreciate light. C, then we merge in light.
Lovely.
And another way of saying that is, in suffering, you finally recognize the hand of the unknown.
Yes.
When you are in Sukha, happy, pleasurable state, you don't want to know Shiva at that time. That time the ego will not allow you to bow down to anybody. Sometimes, somehow, sukha, pleasurable states, are very egoistic states. Ego is very active at that time. But in the states of suffering, you want to know the hand of the unknown in that. And you want to know the Shiva, and you want to pray to Shiva, and you want to finally acknowledge that there is a force bigger than me that can come and save and help me and take me out of this. Right? So, suffering also gives you some bal, shakti. We have a tendency of looking at suffering in a negative tone or darkness in a negative tone. No, don't do that. Because suffering also gives you some shakti. Correct?
It does.
What in English we call the power to endure. How will you develop power to endure if there is no suffering, if there is no pain? So suffering also gives you some shakti, some bal. And then what you do with that shakti, that bal is up to you. Most of the time, I have seen that the shakti that we get out of suffering, people start to use that shakti to develop their bhakti, which is devotion.
Wow.
Go to any temple, any sacred space. If there are 100 people praying to God, 99 of them are in some trouble. Correct? So their suffering brought them to the temple. Their suffering gave them some shakti to come to the temple. And there the bhakti gets awakened. They start to trust in the presence of God.
Absolutely.
And surrender happens, ego dissolves, and a path of spiritual awakening opens up.
Wow. Wonderful.
So don't look at it in a negative light.
Yeah. And I hope this discussion opens that path to many people.
Yes.
Because today we explored the soul's journey and soul's connection, and how wonderfully, like, by the end of every podcast that I have with you, my inner seeker is so satisfied.
I'm happy.
All thanks to you, Gurudev.
Thanks to you, and thanks to every sadhak friend who's listening to us. All these words, all these anubhavas, these experiences are just to help you A, find your soul purpose, B, give you some bala, because all shakti, all bal does not come from suffering. A lot of bal and shakti come from love also.
Absolutely.
So through these words I'm trying to awaken that love in you and that trust in you, that Shiva and Shakti are always with you. Never feel alone. Open the heart and embrace the world with all its Sukhas and Dukhas, and then the divine paths open up. Hope it helps all of you. Thank you for having me here.
So you tell me, how did this podcast help you to discover your soul journey, your soul connections? I'm sure by the end of this discussion, you too have the same clarity about some of the connections that you've had in your life that felt like, I've known this person from a previous life. Why? I hope it helps you to understand the karmic alignment. Do let me know in the coming discussions, what more topics would you like me to explore with Gurudev? And do also let me know from which part of the world are you watching this discussion. I'll keep bringing you such insightful discussions. This is your host Rangoli Sharma. I'll see you in another podcast. Namaste.